You can see the destruction to the building here.
Tonight, Netanyahu pressed on Trump's decision.
President Trump will do what's best for America. I trust his judgment.
And David, all of this is coming as European leaders are expecting to meet tomorrow with the Iranians in Geneva. One senior official telling us tonight the president hopes this 2-week timeline will, quote, give the Iranians some room to come to their senses. But David, make no mistake, the president still has this high stakes decision to make, and he's now given himself a deadline to make it. David.
Mary Bruce asking the questions there in the briefing room today. Mary, thank you. Let's get right to Martha Raddatz with new reporting as well tonight. We heard Mary report there, Martha, that part of the calculus here includes the fact that the U.S. is still rushing assets to the region. And Martha, something you've been reporting on today, this 30,000-pound bomb. We know it's been tested, but it's never been used in war before.
Exactly, David. This bomb, the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, or MOP, can only be delivered by the B-2 stealth bomber. The 30,000-pound bomb can penetrate deep into rock and has been tested successfully numerous times, but has never, ever been used on the battlefield. The U.S. has used the smaller Moab, the 22,000-pound bomb, with success, blowing up caves in Afghanistan. But if the president decides the U.S. will hit the Fordo nuclear facility, it will be the first time it has been used. So there are some concerns about how effective it would be in an actual strike, since much is not known about Fordo, but there would likely be several of these bombs launched because of the uncertainty. And of course, David, the U.S. still wants to get all its assets into the region. David?
Martha Raddatz back in Washington for us again tonight. Thank you. Now to that dramatic explosion of a SpaceX rocket ship during a pre-flight test in Texas. Look at the images tonight. The Starship on the test pad erupting into a ball of flames, the explosion rattling homes miles away. And tonight, what SpaceX CEO Elon Musk is saying about the blast. ABC's Maria Villarreal in Texas tonight.
Tonight, the stunning images from a SpaceX pre-flight test.
Whoa! No!
The Starship erupting in a series of massive explosions.
Ship 36 just blew up.
Those staggering flames filling the South Texas sky. SpaceX was preparing for a routine static fire test, loading fuel before igniting Starship's engines. They believe a pressurized tank exploded, setting off a series of blasts.
Fire department inbound.
The test site has already been cleared and there were no injuries.
You could still hear some of the popping.
Although it's not yet known how much damage was done to the launch area.
Oh my God, I'm shaking.
SpaceX was preparing for Starship's 10th flight test. The previous 3 ending with explosions. Here, blazing debris streaking across the sky in the Caribbean after one Starship experienced a catastrophic failure. The incident forcing flights to reroute, the FAA requiring SpaceX to investigate what went wrong.
David, early this morning, Elon Musk seemed to refer to this explosion as, quote, just a scratch on social media. But, you know, Starship's success is crucial to his eventual goal to try and send humans to Mars. David?
Those were extraordinary images today, Maria. Thank you. Now to the tense scene outside Dodger Stadium in L.A. Dozens of federal officers in masks and tactical gear positioned right outside the gates. The L.A. Dodgers tonight saying they deny the officers entry. Trevor Ault is there for us.
Tonight, tense scenes at Dodger Stadium. Dozens of federal officers in masks and tactical gear seen right outside the gates, protesters quickly gathering as well. The LAPD called to the scene. The Dodgers saying in a statement those agents requested permission to access the parking lots. They were denied entry to the grounds by the organization. But DHS responding, saying this had nothing to do with the Dodgers. Customs and Border Protection vehicles were in the stadium parking lot very briefly, unrelated to any operation or enforcement. It follows days of heated clashes between law enforcement and protesters, with President Trump sending in hundreds of Marines. ICE continuing to ramp up operations across Los Angeles County. This video today showing an agent chasing a man down near a Home Depot, detaining him, and agents also raiding this car wash in Glendale, as the administration vows they will increase deportations undeterred by protests.
David, the Dodgers have drawn criticism for remaining silent during these escalating ICE raids, but the organization is reportedly planning to announce initiatives supporting impacted immigrant communities. David.
All right, Trevor Ault on this for us tonight. Trevor, thank you. We turn to that horrific shark attack in Florida, and tonight we are hearing from the 9-year-old girl who survived the attack. And tonight her doctors described the surgery to reattach and save her hand. Victor Akendo from Florida tonight.
Tonight, that 9-year-old shark bite victim and her doctors sharing remarkable details on the attack and how they were able to reattach her hand that she nearly lost.
Something hard bit me and then it tried to take me away. Then I pick up my hand and it's all in blood.
It was just last week officials say a shark bit off most of Leah Lindell's right hand while she was snorkeling in Boca Grande on Florida's Gulf Coast.
It was almost completely gone, in that second, and there was so much blood in the water.
Leah airlifted to Tampa General Hospital for emergency surgery. Doctors there performing the operation in less than an hour after she arrived, saying they used blood vessels from her leg to help restore blood flow to her hand.
That was key to the success of this, stabilize the wrist and be able to stabilize that base so that we could then work on getting blood flow back.
X-rays showing the extent of the wound, much of Leah's hand detached from her wrist. Doctors inserting temporary pins to stabilize the area. Her family saying Leah can now move her fingers.
I didn't think there was any chance at all of saving it, and I'm just so thankful to the surgeons for making such a miracle.
Doctors say Leah has a complex recovery ahead, but because she is so young and still growing, she actually has an even better chance of recovering. David?
We are all pulling for Leah tonight. Victor, thank you so much. Freed American-Israeli hostage Idan Alexander has returned home to Tenafly, New Jersey tonight to a community waving and welcoming him home. The 21-year-old captured during the October 7th Hamas terror attack was freed last month after 584 days in captivity. He was the last living American held hostage. When we come back on the broadcast, the deadly plane crash in the Northeast, a small plane going down right into a community and what we've learned. Also, dramatic body camera video showing officers racing to save a car full of people that plunged upside down into the water. There's also news tonight about the death of beloved Food Network host Ann Burrell, what the FDNY here in New York is now saying about that initial emergency call in a moment. Tonight, there's been a deadly plane crash near the airport in Beverly, Massachusetts, north of Boston. The small plane going down in the street just after takeoff. One person on board was killed. Another is in critical condition tonight. You can see the debris there on the street and in the trees. No one on the ground was hurt. In Seattle, the images tonight, police racing to save 6 people in a car that had plunged into the water following a police chase outside Seattle. Body camera video showing officers trying to pull them from Puget Sound. Authorities say the driver was initially speeding and refusing to pull over. The car at one point going up to 120 miles per hour, then driving off the dock. 2 people were killed, 4 others, including the driver, hospitalized. When we come back here tonight, the death of Food Network host Ann Burrell and what the FDNY here in New York is now saying tonight about that initial emergency call to 911. And the big news tonight involving the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, the big change. To the index of other news tonight, new reporting here on the death of popular Food Network host Ann Burrell, who was found dead at her home in Brooklyn, New York. The FDNY now says it responded to an initial call of someone in cardiac arrest. She was unconscious and unresponsive when they arrived. Authorities, of course, are waiting for the autopsy to determine the official cause of death. To a stunning sight in Rome tonight, video showing a driver driving his car down the famous Spanish Steps in Rome, getting stuck along the way there. An 80-year-old driver behind the wheel, authorities say reportedly confused. He tested negative for alcohol, perhaps making a wrong turn there. The fire department removing the car with a crane. The steps built back in the 1700s were not damaged. Back here now, the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders say they're getting a 400% raise. After years battling for a pay hike, the news was revealed in the streaming series America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. Their pay had already increased from $200 to $400 per game following a lawsuit settlement in 2019. They say this raise is 4 times that amount. One of the veteran cheerleaders calling the new raise, quote, life-changing. When we come back, America marking this day.